Many countries of the world are witnessing a second wave of corona cases and the reimposition of precautionary measures to avoid further impacts on the economy and society. The Ministry of Health reiterated its call to adhere to the precautionary measures to limit the societal transmission of the virus, warning against complacency, especially in gathering places and beaches.
Here in Oman, we have passed the peak of cases of COVID-19. However, this does not mean that a second peak or even a larger peak or a second wave will not come. We're actually still very susceptible to having a second peak and a second wave. The reason is that society does not develop enough what's called herd immunity in this short period of time. So we want to remind everyone to stay the course and use all the preventive measures, which are hand hygiene, wearing the mask, and keeping a distance of 2 meters, or social distancing.
The world soon caught its breath to count the repercussions of the coronavirus COVID-19, purging the dust of the first wave after nearly 9 months of conflict in which the health sectors faced what threatened their steadfastness until the rise in infection numbers in some countries with indicators of a second wave. A sudden rise in numbers of the cases and the deaths exceeded expectations, confusing preparations of the countries. Warnings of the severity of the effects of the second wave that rearranges countries at the forefront of the rate of infections and deaths. Experts talk about the mechanisms of the virus mutation amid fears that the second wave will be the fastest spreading based on the backgrounds of the viruses that swept the world in past years, and the winter season is a season in which the world is accustomed to the widespread of influenza, especially in countries with low temperatures.
We have noticed in Oman that a lot of the cases that are occurring are coming from family gatherings. So we really have to pay attention to when we conduct a family gathering. Is it really necessary? Can we decrease the number of people? Can we decrease the frequency of these gatherings? And if there is a gathering, we must keep to very strict measures of social distancing, keeping a distance of 1 to 2 meters, wearing the masks, and keeping our hands clean. It's also advisable to have family gatherings if it is necessary, to be obviously with a small number and to be outdoors. And the weather is now starting to cool down a little bit.
The return of tourism to a large extent in some countries has opened the door to a shutterstock for a second societal infection, which is what the competent authorities warn against, especially in light of the negligence of some people and their continued frequenting of the beaches and water ponds, unaware of what this negligence may lead to, which may push the concerned authorities returning to previous procedures and lockdown, which is not very favorable to many. Abdallah bin Ahmed al-Rubaiey, Sultanate of Oman Television.